Hey guys, it's Alex, and today I wanted to talk about a subject that seems repetitive, but I have a different spin on it. Let's talk about marriage. So, let me ask you guys a question. Single guys, is there any married couple out there that you know that you would trade places with right now? Think about it. You interact with them all the time, you see them together. You know the real deal. You talk to your boys, and then, would you ever trade places with that person? I started thinking about that. And the reason I started thinking about that is because I went on a date with a woman who is absolutely at the crossroads of her life. Career woman. So attractive that I went, you want to go? Okay. I mean, you don't show that, but you think it. And you go on the date. The date goes wonderful, I think. And then you sit home and you're like, you know what? She's at that stage where she has checked off a bunch of boxes career wise, and now she's ready for a family and kids. So I started thinking to myself, is that what I want? Probably not. And then, you do some introspection, you start thinking, and you go, would my career be what it was if I had a child or I was married? Probably not. Probably not. I'll be honest, because a lot of the stuff that I'm doing now is because I was available to do them, travel, take opportunities that I normally would not have taken if I had to think about another person in my life potentially being affected, child, spouse, whatever. So I started thinking, well, would I ever trade places with anybody that I know that is married? Now, I have about 5 or 6 couples that I know around me that are married, and I would not trade places with any of them. Right? I would not trade places with any of them. Not that that's a negative. I just don't think that's what I want. I don't want to trade places with anyone that is in my immediate, area, because my life is better, in my opinion. My life is better, in my opinion, than theirs. I have the freedom to do whatever I want. I can go wherever I want, do whatever I want. I have pretty decent financial stability. I can play with cars, do videos, go on dates. Pretty free to do whatever. They are not. They either have children or their spouse is a pain in the ass, because every single time I start listening to what they go through, it makes me go, well, why don't you just leave the situation? Well, you can't. You have to work through it. Now, being in a 10 and a 5, 10-year and a 5-year relationship, I was basically, I experienced what a long-term relationship was like. And in the 10-year relationship, what happens? You become stagnant. You just kind of go day to day after the honeymoon's over, after you're, excuse me, after you're banging everyone on the couch and everything. After the honeymoon is over, you now then have to decide, okay, well, you have to take their thoughts into account. You can't just do whatever the hell you want to do. You can't just buy a car. You can't just go somewhere. You can't just go racing to Bowling Green and MRA finals for 4 days. You can't do that. You have to kind of, ask the girl, hey, you okay with it? I want to do this. Basically ask mama for permission. And I thought that was psycho. So this girl that I met did say certain keywords that made me start thinking, am I wasting her time? She said, if in about a year or two, there's no ring on this finger, I'm going to start looking around going, what are we doing? And I thought, she's right. She's right, because she's at that stage in her life that she has to, she feels in her mind, I have done everything I wanted to do career-wise. Now it's time for a family. And I think because she's younger, I think she doesn't understand what that entails. I think they think, well, now I'm going to have a family. Once the kid's out, life's going to go on as normal. Well, this is what I look at. The possibilities. The possibilities. Right? I'm not morbid, and I'm not cynical. I kind of am cynical. But I'm a realist. Let's say you do everything you think that is right in order to have a child. Child comes out and the child has complications. That's something I'm not willing to risk. I'm not willing to risk. You can do everything you can and hope that the child comes out healthy and everything's great, and it's not. Let's just say that happens. That's awful, but I understand some people are way stronger than I and they make it happen. Good for them. I'm literally not willing to take that risk. I am not willing to take the risk that the child has any kind of health issues or anything like that. Secondly, we see the world that we're in. We see it. You see what's going on out there. You see what's going on over here. See what's going on over there. Do you want to raise a child in that? Do you want to have to hear that your kid's getting fucked with the school? Do you want to bring a child into the world that's, masked up and fucked up politically? And let's say with the best intentions on the planet, you try to raise the child properly, but because the indoctrination of the schools and everything, it can make the child turn at the drop of a hat, and then you could be the most well-intentioned parent on the problem, and the kid comes out to be a fucking punk. I've seen it happen where good people think they do a good job of raising the kid, and for whatever reason or influences or circumstances, child comes out pretty fucked up. Another reason I'm not looking to have a child, because I don't want to run that risk. As well-intentioned as you can be being a parent, shit just happens. So, because I'm a late bloomer in life, meaning everything I've done in my career that has been positive has been while I've been single. I was in a relationship from 22 all the way to the age of 38. 22 to 38. You would think I would have made moves in that time. No. Why? I had to take somebody else into account. The moment I got single in my late 30s, my career took off. Not only did it take off, it took off in such a way that I would have never thought certain things were possible. And I thought to myself, that relationship or those relationships were literally holding me back from doing what I wanted to do. Because you guys have that thought in your head when you think, I want to do this, and I think in the long run it's going to work out. And then your spouse, parents, friends, don't do that, don't risk it. Do the safe thing, work for the DPW, and in 20 years you'll retire with $40,000 a year, and then you can try to live on that. I thought, you know what? No, I'm going to risk a bunch. I'm going to gamble a little bit, and I'm going to bet on me. And it's worked out. So after meeting this girl, and man, she is a 10, guys. Guys, you know what I think a 10 is? Girl's a 10. But she's not for me. All I'm going to do is waste her time because I don't want kids. I don't want marriage. I don't want anything like that. One person thinks you can or you do, but after seeing how well my career has done by me making the decisions that I think are best for me, I think I'm going to ride that horse until it can't ride anymore. I'm going to try to make as much money as I can when I can. I don't have a problem meeting women. I don't mind being in a relationship per se, but to the point of marriage and kids, that's just not going to happen. And that's okay for a lot of you guys that are in your 20s, right? In your 20s, you think that, oh my God, I don't want to be a single 35-year-old. Oh my God, I don't want to be 32 years old and not be married. Trust me, once you get there, you go, what the fuck was I thinking? Because when you're 25 or 24, 35 looks far away. 45 looks far away. It really isn't. At a drop of a hat, it just happens. And then you think, well, I have this small window of time where I can do everything that I want to do, and then I'm just going to like relax and raise a family later on. And then when you get there, you're like, I still want to bang chicks. I still want to go out and race. I still want to go party. I still want to go drinking with my buddies well into your 50s and 60s. Your mind doesn't change. Your body just gets a little older. So me knowing that, I knew that at an early age. I said, I really don't want to have kids. Look, I was in a 10-year relationship. If I didn't have kids with that girl, I knew I wasn't going to have kids with anyone else because that girl was pretty excellent. The 5-year relationship ended because they wanted a family a little prematurely, in my opinion, and we were not compatible that way. A lot of other things happened, but at the end of the day, I think my career and my ambitions and my goals took precedent over the relationship with her, and it worked out. it really did work out, guys. Seriously, with your help and your support, the other channel, and my regular job, that's the main source of my income, because I am available, because I travel, because I make sure that I prioritize my work. My career has done pretty damn good, and they have been gracious enough and generous enough to compensate me for that loyalty and that availability. So that's something that you guys are going to have to decide when you get to that age of like the crossroads. She's at the crossroads right now. She met me, we got along, but honestly, I'm just wasting her time, and I don't want to do that. I'd rather just be on the same page with someone, hang out, and if we get in a relationship, great. But she is giving off the, I'm a career woman, I got my shit together, and I want to have a family, and I want to be married within a couple of years. I said, okay. And then when I went home, I said, dang it, I have to say no to her, even though she's really excellent. So it's going to happen, guys, and the vetting process has to begin all over again. I can't meet someone that's at that crossroads of life and have them expect me to drop everything to fulfill their needs. If anything, they're going to have to drop everything so that I can fulfill mine. That's how I look at things. Sounds a little selfish, but at the end of the day, who's going to look out for you better than yourself? Nobody. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you later.